The next premium product we will look at is the Battery Box Premium LVL. Unlike the HVS and HVM, the LVL is a low voltage battery with about 50 volt. One LVL consists of 15.4 kilowatt hours, and up to 64 LVL can be put in parallel to achieve a maximum capacity of 984 kilowatt hours, so nearly 1 megawatt hour in a single system. Up to 2 LVL can be stacked to save space. Similar to the HVS and HVM, the correct configuration has to be verified in the minimum configuration list. Please always check here if the planned configuration is feasible. The list can be found on the web pages. As mentioned before, please refer to the manual for the installation and regard the safety instructions shown here. Here you see the requirements for the installation location. The temperature range is again from -10 to +50 degrees, and the battery power will be limited below 5 degrees. The battery should not be placed close to easily inflammable material. The battery has a protection rating of IP20 and should be placed inside to protect the battery against weather conditions. The battery should not be placed on the side, but always in the correct direction. One battery system consists of one or multiple LVL batteries and one premium LVBMU, which collects the information from one or multiple LVL and communicates a single interface with the external inverter. Besides the BMU, which is a battery management unit, to look closer into the electrical components of the system, the LVL has to be opened. One LVL has an upper and a lower battery module. The upper LVL module also includes the BMS drawer, which is a battery management system for the LVL modules. Both the upper and the lower LVL module has a BIC, which is a battery information collector, which reports the measurement data of the modules to the BMS. The BMS then processes this data and reports it to the BMU. For the installation, the upper and lower battery modules are stacked on top of each other. Unlike the premium HVS, HVM, and LVS, the LVL requires some internal cabling. Therefore, the cover is removed. Then the cabling can be done. It is important to make sure not to make a short circuit and connect all cables correctly and according to the manuals. The communication cable from the LVL goes to the BMU and from the BMU to the inverter. Make sure that you use a Cat5 or higher cable for the communication connection to the inverter. Also, some inverters might require a special communication cable like shown here on the right side. Please check the manuals for the correct cabling. Up to 2 LVL can be stacked on top of each other. The cabling concept is shown on the right side. The LVS are connected with a Cat5 or higher cable, and the LVL with address 1 is connected to the BMU. To collect the DC cables, make sure to use a combiner box or butt breaker. The same concept is used when connecting more LVL systems in parallel. Once the cabling is done, the system can be switched on by pressing the LED button on the LVL for 3 seconds. To turn off the system, the LED button on the BMU has to be pressed for 5 seconds. Then all LVL should turn off. When the battery is on, the LEDs, both on the BMU and on the individual LVL, will show a status similar to the HVS HVM product. While the BMU shows the general system status, the single LVL show their individual BMS status. Please refer again to the manual and the service guideline for the exact meaning of the different blinking status. When the battery is on and you have the latest app and firmware version on your mobile device, you can connect to the Wi-Fi of the battery and do the configuration in the same procedure as in the HVS and HVM products. Also here, we highly recommend to connect the LVL directly to the internet to allow for remote update and remote service.